You're listening to Men of Abundance, episode 125. Not that imposter 125 from yesterday, but the real 125. And today is Pay It Forward Aloha Friday. Today, we're talking about the importance of your connections.
Welcome to Men of Abundance, the podcast for those looking to level up their lives by hanging out with some of the greatest leaders and established professionals in our community, living a life of integrity, honor, and the abundance mentality. Prepare to pay it forward with your host, former Army medic turned lifestyle entrepreneur, Wally Carmichael.
Aloha, Men of Abundance. I am Wally Carmichael, your host and founder of the Men of Abundance podcast, the Pay It Forward community. Today is episode 125. I don't know if you noticed if you were listening to the past episodes, if you're a frequent guest or a frequent listener. Yesterday for 124, I said it was episode 125. But you know what? I'm leaving it like it is. I don't feel like going back and changing it. And besides, what's the big deal? Most of you probably never even noticed it anyway until I just mentioned it. If you are just discovering Men of Abundance for your first time today, understand, I got a little lizard running across my keyboard. These are the thrills of living in Hawaii, and we get these little geckos and lizards running around in the house sometimes. I dig them. I let them just run around because they eat the bugs, which I don't like. Anyway, this is Pay It Forward Aloha Friday, and normally the normal episodes are interviews of amazing, abundant leaders doing amazing things in their life and in the community and paying it forward, and they're coming and paying it forward to you right here on Men of Abundance. Some amazing conversations that I absolutely love sharing with all of you. But today, Pay It Forward Aloha Friday is where I basically have a conversation with you. Really, it's a one-way conversation, obviously. But of course, you can get in on the conversation by either posting below, if you're listening to this, on the website at menofabundance.com/125, or in our private closed Facebook group at menofabundance.com/members is where you can request to get access to that group. And then you can comment and share your comments about all of these conversations that I am having, and I welcome them. I absolutely love having those conversations. But today is Pay It Forward Aloha Friday, as I was saying, and I got derailed again. And the subject that popped in my mind for today is connections. And I really got this because of the connections that I've been making and all of these conversations that I've been having with so many people. And I started realizing how important connections are. Well, ironically enough, as you may have heard me talk about before, your RAS, your reticulating activating system, that's a part of your brain that when something is on your mind, more of that comes into your mind. It's kind of like when you think about buying your favorite car and a favorite color and so on and so forth, and you think it's the most unique thing you've ever thought of, then all of a sudden you start seeing them everywhere. You see them driving down the street, you see them at the drive-thru, you see them in the parking lot. They're everywhere. That's your RAS in action, because that's what's at the front of your mind. So I was thinking of connections and how important they are. And I'm thinking to myself, how can I talk about the importance of these connections? And then as the RAS would have it, I run into a video that a good buddy of mine, an Army friend of mine, fellow retired veteran, Bernard Perry, posted a video of Simon Sinek that I had not seen before. I appreciate that, Bernard. By the way, I encourage you to go check out Bernard's Facebook page, Bernard Perry. I'll put his link in the show notes of this episode because he does every single day these little videos that he does live. And if you catch him live, it's really cool, but it's just his random thought of the day. I really get a lot out of those, and I appreciate you doing those, Bernard. And I appreciate you posting this video, which I'm also going to have posted in the show notes at menofabundance.com/125. So Simon was talking about a lot of different things. One of the things he was touching on was the importance of connections. So that's why I decided to have this conversation with you today. Now here's the thing. I have always considered myself to be a people person. I like most people. It's a flaw I picked up from my dad. And quite frankly, my dad was too kind for his own good. That's why I say it was a flaw. And I was the same way for a very long time. And in fact, when I was much younger, I asked a few girls out who actually told me they would not date me because I was too nice. Now, I know they were really saying that I was just a pushover. You thought I was going to say something else, right? Well, here's the thing. I grew out of the Mr. Nice Guy phase of my life, but I never stopped liking people. I like meeting new people. I'm always talking to new people. I like learning what people do for their family and for humanity. I like to know where people are from, where they have been, and where they're going, what their goals are in life. Because of that, I talk to a lot of people. It kind of drives my wife crazy that I can start a conversation with a complete stranger and in 5 minutes know their name, their wife, their kids' names, where they're from, what they do for humanity, and even a few of their dreams and goals. And what can I say? It's a gift. Well, not really. All I really do is ask a few questions and be completely interested in them with absolutely no agenda. The thing is, most people naturally want to talk about their number one subject, which is themselves. Anyway, I bring that up because I want to share with you what I've learned after talking with all of these people. It's what I was talking about in the beginning about making connections. I can always tell who's connected with others and who's lonely. Lonely people are sad, miserable, bitter, angry, and usually have a scarcity mindset. They don't trust other people, and some of them are very destructive to themselves and others. Connected people, on the other hand, are usually happy and excited about life. They are usually open and trusting, and connected people are productive and usually very helpful. They look out for each other. Have you ever heard of the term, "it takes a village"? Well, connectivity is the reason for that. Villages are connected by people working together. They support each other, and they are generally very happy. Just think about the busy city life versus the small town connections. Here's the problem. We as a culture are losing this connectivity, and it's literally killing us. As Simon Sinek mentioned in a video that I talked about earlier that Bernard posted, he mentioned about school shootings in the video. And he said that in the 60s, there was only one school shooting. In the 80s, there were 27. In the 90s, 58. And from year 2000 to 2017, there have been 120 school shootings. Why do you think that is? Well, I'll tell you. The data proves that 70% of those who committed those crimes are lonely. Those shooters had no strong connections with other people, not even online. And even a few of them actually said, I have no online groups to hang out with. Online groups, let alone all of the personal groups. Men, here's the thing. Throughout history, men have always had connections. We traveled in groups. We hunted in groups. We had productive groups of men that hung out together. And that has changed drastically over the last 20 plus years. Most of us are driving to work alone, sitting in cubicles, maybe talking to a few acquaintances throughout the day, driving home alone, and then hanging out with the family. Now, don't get me wrong. Hanging out with family is great. I absolutely love it. And having that connection with your wife and kids is priceless. But we need more. We need to hang out with other men who are strong enough to put us in our place when we need it. Men we can rely on for strong advice and guidance. This connectivity stuff that I'm talking about may sound like some sissy stuff to some of you because that's what this seemingly weak society has made us believe. We have also been guilted into wanting to hang out with other guys, and it's straight BS. We need that. So what I'm saying to you today is find a connection with men in your community. Build strong bonds. If you can't find a group of productive men where you live, be the man in your area who starts a society of strong protectors. And here's the thing, you don't need silly hats, handshakes, and jackets. Nothing against that, but you don't need that. You just need men hanging out and building strong bonds. Now, I will say that live and in-person groups are by far the best option as far as I'm concerned. But the next best thing is any number of online groups that you can find out there. There are a few great groups on Facebook and other community platforms. Some are live and they have some in-person and offline groups as well. One of a few great options, as I'm sure you know, is the Men of Abundance community. If you don't know about it, check it out. And I do plan on doing some live meetups around the nation and possibly around the world in the future, but I definitely plan on doing some live meetups as well, because I love the face-to-face interaction, which quite frankly is why I do so many live videos and post them on Facebook and on YouTube. And if you're up for it, I would love to invite you to request access to the Men of Abundance community today. All you have to do is go to menofabundance.com men.com/members, or just click on the members tab at menofabundance.com and request access there, and I'll give you access. Again, women, ladies, this is for men only. I always say we have much to learn from you, and I absolutely mean it. But us men must have our time, and we must have our conversations in our way so that we can beat each other up like men do. Well, I hope you got something out of this. This one's a little bit longer than most, but I'm very passionate about us making these connections. Now go out and live your life of abundance. And guys, make sure to pay it forward.